Hello YouTube family, it's the commuter. Winning our life, one day at a time, one commuter at a time, one thought at a time, one revelation at a time. As I started out saying in my last video, winning our life is not a gigantic moment that happens to you out of nowhere. It's those steps that you take daily that make a difference of whether you're winning progress or losing progress. The truth is, you're never really static. You're never really static in life. You're either making progress and growing, or you're regressing and dying. You're never really nothing. So you're either expanding your awareness or diminishing your awareness. And that's just diminishing your awareness is just dying. So what I like to do with this channel is to just kind of get all of us to be more aware, to be aware of where we are, to be aware of our growth, and to be determined to keep winning, to keep growing, no matter how challenging it is, no matter how difficult it is, but to be challenged, to challenge ourselves to grow, to expand. And I started by saying earlier on that we have to focus on what we want to attract in our lives. What do we want to attract in our lives? More love, more positivity, whether it's more income, whether we're planning on buying a house, starting a business, finishing college, getting that degree, finding a spouse, being a better father, better mother, better wife, better husband, whatever it might be. We have to create that vision of what we're trying to achieve. We have to create the vision of what we're trying to achieve, and let that, and then push ourselves into feeling what the reality of that vision looks like. That's where the belief, that's where strong belief comes in. See, when Abraham became fully persuaded, that's when he realized the manifestation of what he was believing for. That was a child. He had to become fully persuaded. Nothing could waver him. He was in a realm of complete belief. And if you study the law of attraction, that's what it talks about. You have to be in complete belief. In complete belief of what you're expecting, of what you're expecting. The expectation has to be in complete belief. So having said that, that means that we have to be individuals that harness our emotions. See, emotions are very powerful things, very powerful elements of our lives. Having emotions is really, how you control and respond to emotions determines really what direction you're going to move into. Just from the word itself, emotion, tells us that emotions are meant to move. Motion creates motion. Emotions create motion. Because what you feel will pull you in a particular direction. If you feel bad about that day, if you wake up and you're feeling sad, you have a negative outlook upon the day, you're going to attract negativity. You're going to find yourself pulling and moving towards the positivity, wake up with an outlook of accomplishment for that day. You'll be surprised at all the good that you're going to attract in your life, and you're going to find yourself moving towards the positive, because emotions create motion. Emotions create motion. So emotions are very powerful beings. So understanding that emotions are very powerful things is important, because now we can begin to pay attention to our emotions. All right? We can begin to pay attention to our emotions. Many of us think that we have no control of our emotions, but that's not the truth. Our emotions come upon us, all right? But we can choose how to respond. We can choose whether those emotions are going to take over in that day, or whether we are going to change those emotions, because you can change how you feel about something. You can change how you feel about something. And I'll touch on that in a little bit. But we have to understand the origin of emotions. See, emotions have an origin. Understanding the origin of something helps us to be able to understand it and to be able to tackle it. You have to understand the origin of something. So emotions, positive or negative, yes, there are positive emotions and there are negative emotions. That's why emotions in themselves are not bad. See, there are people who say, "Oh, I'm an emotionless person." Well, see, that's not good, because see, emotions were given to us to add flavor and spice to life. Emotions were given to us so that we can be aware of what's going on around us, aware of what's going on inside us, within us, and emotions were given to us to add flavor to life. Think of all the positive emotions of joy, and just happiness, and all those positive emotions. They help you enjoy. They are the spice of life. They help you enjoy life. It's because of emotions that we can have a fun day with our family and completely enjoy it. Emotions are what enables us to be in that moment of just laughter with our loved ones. So understanding the purpose of emotions is important. So we understand that emotions are meant to are there to spice up our lives in a positive way. But usually, whenever you've been given something that spices up your life, you find that there is the polar opposite of that thing, and that's where the negative emotions come in. And those negative emotions dull up our lives. They regress our lives. Instead of causing us to enjoy a moment, they rob us of enjoying moments that we could be enjoying. So that's understanding the purpose of the thing. Now, emotions, positive and negative, have origin. They don't just spring up out of nowhere. They have an origin. They originate from somewhere. One of the ways that emotions originate from is experiences. Think of fear. When a child when you look at a baby or a toddler, they're fearless. They're fearless. But with time, they begin to develop the emotional fear, because because of experiences. So in the moment that they're young, they're fearless, so they'll reach out and touch a fire. They'll reach out and touch a dangerous animal. And once they get bitten or burnt, that experience, next time when they're in that situation, can induce emotions of fear. All right. So emotions can come out of experiences. So depending on if you have had a positive experience in your past over a particular event, you will find that you'll be positive in a similar event. If you encounter a similar event in the future, you find that you're going to have positive emotions of happiness and joy and expectation. But if you experience a negative, if your experience was negative over that similar event, then your responses, then your emotions will be those of fear and the negativity and all those things. All right. So, and a past experience can determine the emotions that you're going to have. All right. Past experience can determine the emotions you're going to have. If you've had a personal experience I have is that I had an accident at one time driving on a particular road, and every time I drove on that road, I felt a certain way whenever I passed that place where I had the accident. And actually, for a while, it was such that when I get into a vehicle, when I get into my car, I felt this thing of fear. I don't want to call it fear, but it was fear. I was fearful to drive, and I was extremely careful. I became extremely careful. That's because that experience that I had of having had an accident, I created those emotions of fear. So past experiences, all right, past experiences can induce negative emotions, all right. So past experiences, number one. Number two, are words that are spoken to you. Words that you speak of yourself and words that are spoken to you. If you grew up being told that you were ugly, you grew up being told that you're good for nothing, you grew up being told that you can't achieve anything, you had maybe by a parent, a sibling, whatever it might be, those words can create an environment that brings up negative emotions about yourself, negative emotions about the world, negative emotions about other people, negative emotions about life. Those words that have been spoken to you can create those negative emotions. Words that you've allowed to speak over yourself. If you call yourself, you're constantly calling yourself stupid, constantly calling yourself an idiot, constantly referring to yourself in the negative. I'm good for nothing. Why does this always happen to me? Why does this always do that? You are calling into existence the negative. And you're always going to have negative emotions about yourself, about life, about other people. Alright, so words are powerful things. Words are powerful things. Words contain life. Words contain creativity. Words that are spoken can either produce life, can produce death. You know, Proverbs tells us that death and life are in the power of the tongue. You know, our Lord Jesus said, the words that I speak, they are life and they are spirit. So words are very, very powerful because words create. Words are creative in nature. Words are creative force. And when spoken with utter and complete belief, they create. They'll create your world. They will create your world, because our words are like seeds. Are like seeds that are sown. And when the seed of a word is sown with belief and being released spoken by somebody who believes in the words that they're speaking. If you're speaking words like I'm never gonna achieve anything, bad things always happen to me, and you release those words and you believe it to your core that bad things always happen to you, you are sowing those seeds into the atmosphere, into your world, into your heart. And see, the soil of your heart is just like soil. If you plant a seed in a ground, that in a fertile ground, it will produce after that kind. That's why our scripture tells us that do not be deceived. You will produce after your own kind. So when you sow the seeds of words that are negative, they will produce negative. Because the soil, see, the job of the soil is not to determine whether this is a good seed or a bad seed. The job of the soil is only to germinate and make that seed grow. When a seed is sown in a soil, that soil reacts to that seed. Its only job is to grow it. So when a seed is sown in your life, what determines whether the ground is good or not is your belief. If you believe the words that you're speaking over your life, over somebody else's life, over your situation, that belief creates the environment where that seed sown in your heart will grow. So the seed of your heart, that belief is like fertilizer. See, the soul of your heart is not there to determine whether this is a good seed or a bad seed. It's not there to determine whether this will bring up positive results or not. But it's there to grow it. Okay? That's why you must be careful the words that you speak over your life, because they will grow. If you speak them with belief, if you speak them with conviction, that belief is like fertilizer. It will grow and produce after the nature of those words. So the words spoken can bring about negative emotions. All right, so negative emotions. A word spoken are also a source of negative emotions. So we've covered past experiences, we've covered words. Those really are two of the most important things. So when you look at your word, it's so vast, because it not only covers words that have been spoken to you, words that you speak over your life, it also covers stuff that you read. It covers stuff that the books that you read, your engagement with social media. You're always reading about entertainment, you're always reading about that, and you're always reading stuff that is making other people seem better than you. You're always looking at celebrities and stuff like that. That doesn't do anything for you. It just makes you walk a life of envy towards other people. There has to be a time when you look at personal development. The music that you listen to, music is very, very powerful. So I call that your world. The music that you listen to is very powerful. Music can stir up emotions. That's why music is used at parties. It's used in pretty much every environment where we want to stir up certain emotions in the audience. Music is used in clubs, music is used at weddings, music is used at funerals, music is used at events, music is used in churches, music is used in any kind of gathering you can think of. Music is used in stores, in shops, when you go shopping. Research has been determined that the music that you are listening to will either put you in a buying mode. When you go to a dealership to buy a car, music is so powerful because it's used everywhere to stir up emotions. When you go to a church event, music is a gathering, music is used to stir up emotions of worship, so that you can worship God. When you go to places where they're meditating and worshiping the devil, they also use music to stir you up and to cause you to transcend. If you're doing whatever kind of meditation you're doing, music is used. So music is powerful. So that is part of your word world. Music is part of your word world. So when I talk about the word world, I'm talking about things that you're allowed to go into your ear gate, because those things will stir up positive and negative emotions. So we talked about the purpose of emotions. We talked about the origin of emotions. What stirs up positive and negative emotions? Now, emotions can be changed. Just because you feel a certain way does not mean you are imprisoned to feel that way forever. Does not mean that you're imprisoned and you cannot change how you feel. You can change how you feel. All right? So we have to, you have to, so with that realization, then once you realize and say, if whatever emotion that has come upon me, I have the ability to control my response. All right, you can control your response to those emotions. See, emotions are not what make who you are. Emotions is just your body and your emotions and your soul, your mind and your soul responding to a stimuli, and so that you can move in a particular direction. Again, emotions produce motion. But at the core of yourself, you have to understand that you have power and ability to choose your response. If somebody annoys you, you don't have to respond with anger. You do have a choice on whether to respond, to reciprocate in anger or not. So that's why it said that it's not what happens to you, it's how you respond to what happens to you. So the power then in being able to win that life, regardless of the type of emotions that come to you, is the ability to harness your emotions, to control our response. So to harness means to control, to limit the exposure. So when you harness something, it's like putting a muzzle. It's like when you put a muzzle over a horse, you are harnessing it. Okay, you are harnessing it so that you can control its responses. You can determine whether it's going to go left. You can determine whether it's going to go right, up or down, or whatever. So when you harness, look at that Audi Q8, beautiful car. That's a beautiful car. That's an Audi A8. All right, back to it. So when you harness your emotions, what you are saying is that you are controlling your emotions. Okay, you're controlling your emotions so that they will not flare out of control. All right, whether it's emotions of anger, whether it's emotions of disappointment, you are able to control. Because you see, even when you have positive emotions of joy and laughter, they have to be expressed in under control. Otherwise, there are people who under those emotions of joy and laughter, they overspend, they become overzealous, they end up causing accidents. So whatever emotions that you are feeling, you have to be able to harness them. That's where the power comes in. The power to win at life comes at being able, comes by developing that ability to be able to control our emotions. All right, being able to harness our emotions, being able to control our emotions, and you have the power to do it. I have the power to do it. We are not enslaved by the emotions that we feel. We are not enslaved to respond like animals to emotions. We can control our responses. Just because an emotion has come upon you and you feel a certain way does not mean that you have to yield to it. All right? That means that in the moment that an emotion hits you, you have to train yourself to begin to breathe, stay in the moment, and choose how you're going to respond. You breathe, stay in the moment, recognize what's coming at you, and choose how to respond. It's not easy, but if you do it often enough, you will find the power. You find yourself getting more powerful and more powerful and more powerful at controlling those emotions. One of the best ways to control, to grab hold of the emotions, direct it and direct your response, or deflect those emotions, is by changing your focus. By changing your focus. Because when you focus on where the direction that those emotions are trying to take you, the strength of those emotions will only dig deeper and deeper and deeper. So you need to learn how to redirect your focus. Redirect your focus. And redirecting your focus, so you have to learn yourself. So this part of winning at life is knowing who you are, knowing and knowing how you begin to change how you feel, knowing yourself to the point where you can determine when you're beginning to feel differently, when emotions are coming upon you and cause you to feel differently, so that you can refocus yourself. And you need to learn the things that you need to do to refocus yourself, whether it's picking up a book, music, again, I mentioned, is a powerful thing. Changing what you're listening to, or introducing yourself to the type of music that induces positive emotions. Sometimes taking a walk, taking a jog. It could be watching a favorite movie. Again, changing your focus. Changing your focus can very much help. Changing your focus, which will help you refocus yourself. Refocus yourself so that you can harness your emotions. It's important that we learn to harness our emotions if we're going to win at life. All right, YouTube family, winning at life, the commuter. Talk to you tomorrow. Hope this was a blessing to you. Bye.